Hello. I know this series is called Late Night Talks with Juliet, but I haven't worn makeup in a week. I want to share some of my recent favorites in TV shows and podcasts. First recommendation is the Catch and Kill podcast. Now this one is narrated by Ronan Farrow, who also wrote a book in this book of the same name, Catch and Kill. Catch and Kill refers to the act of like media companies buying the exclusive rights to a story and killing it, and that is exactly what happened with Harvey Weinstein and President Trump. This podcast is 9 episodes long, and each episode he interviews someone different central to that story. There's like one of a fellow journalist or like a producer who helped bring the story to light because a lot of media companies wanted to shut his story down. There was a model who was sexually assaulted by Harvey Weinstein, and when she went to go report it to the police, they said, "Hey, would you go undercover for us?" And she said yes. She put herself in the line of fire, basically. I love this podcast because Ronan Farrow is such a wonderful speaker. He does a really good job of pushing the story forward. After the final episode aired, I went onto Audible, no hesitation. I was like, I'm gonna get Catch and Kill. I'm really excited to listen to the book. Next podcast, Radiolab. Radiolab is a podcast that they just take a question and make a series about it. The one that I want to highlight is this one called The Other Latif. So one of the producers of Radiolab, his name is Latif Nasser. Maybe I got it. For years, he's never found anybody with the same name as him. Until one day, he found someone. And it was a person who was imprisoned in Guantanamo Bay. I mean, he started this research years ago. He goes through like, who is this other Latif? What is his story? How did he end up here? One is a TV show and a podcast. It is The Good Place. The Good Place is a comedy show about philosophy. That's the best that I can. The writers of this show, they're just so good at storytelling and breaking down very dense philosophical ideas into a comedy show. And they're also stupidly hilarious. I believe when they entered season 2, they decided to create a podcast. Each episode has a correlating podcast. But I think the next time I start watching it again, I want to listen to the podcast episode and then watch the correlating episode, so that way I can really find all of these Easter eggs that they talk about in their podcast. The podcast is hosted by one of the actors, and he interviews just people on the show for each episode, whether they're actors, costume designers, executive producers, directors. It's a really, really good show. Next, on Netflix, it's Tiffany Haddish's comedy special called Black Mitzvah. I love her so much. She's funny, she's real. Not necessarily relatable just because she's gone through like the adoption system, which I've never done. She's been homeless, which I've never been before. But the fact that she's able to take all of these like rough times in her life, put a positive spin on it and make it funny. I mean, just like kudos to her. To me, Black Mitzvah is just like a high point of her career. If you have not checked out her book called The Last Black Unicorn, definitely check that out too. My next recommendation is also a comedy special by Seth Meyers, who is the host of, is it called The Late Night Show with Seth Meyers? I love his late night show. I think he's great as a TV show host. I've never seen him in the comedic sense, really. The two, I guess, main topics is, if you have not heard about the birth of his 2 sons, they're phenomenal. They're hilarious. You can go watch his monologues. Just type it into YouTube. Another Kristen Bell TV show. This one is called Veronica Mars, which started out in early 2000s, I believe. Once I started watching Veronica Mars, I kind of just fell off the face of the planet and went into a Veronica Mars black hole. I only have 5 episodes left. It's been almost a week since I've seen Humans. I just really love Logan Echolls, who is one of the main characters, and Veronica's love interest, love partner. Their couple name is LOVE for Logan and Veronica. How cute. This one is a Taiwanese drama. It is called 想见你. The English title is called Someday or One Day. The premise is hard to explain, so I'm gonna really oversimplify it. In present time, this girl, her boyfriend is presumably dead. She somehow gets transported back to 1987, I believe. She's in this body she does not recognize. It is not her body, but she sees someone who looks like her boyfriend from the present. And so she's like converted back, or she's taken back to the present, and she's just finding ways to get back and, you know, figure out, why does this guy look so much like my boyfriend? What is happening over here? I rarely recommend Taiwanese dramas to for people to watch, just because a lot of their storylines are quite basic. Over the last couple of years, I feel like the writing of these Taiwanese dramas have gotten better. Highly recommend this one. I think this is so good. Okay, last one is a Korean drama called Romantic Doctor Teacher Kim 2. So I did not watch the first one, but I've heard it's like a similar premise where this doctor works at a hospital in the countryside, and he's kind of like hard to get along with, and two doctors come begrudgingly to work at his hospital, and they turn out to really like it. The reason why I started watching this drama is because I really love the actress who is the female lead. She's been in a number of dramas that I've really enjoyed, including Cheese in the Trap and Weightlifting Fairy Kim Bok-ju. That's it for now. If you have any recommendations of anything, put it down in the comments below. I'll talk to you guys next time.